Hello folks, this is Steve AB4L. Today's a cool Sunday compared to yesterday, which was a really nice warm spring day. Starting yesterday on the weather channel that I look at on a daily basis. Now, I'm not promoting anything, I'm not recommending anything, I'm showing you something that's happening. There was what's called a fire warning. It's saying that conditions are such in North Carolina, especially the part I'm in, where maybe you shouldn't do any outdoor burning. Things might get out of control and spread rapidly. Well, in fact, that is happening, North Carolina and South Carolina. There's a major wildfire in South Carolina, and it turns out there's also at least one major in North Carolina right now. Today is the 2nd of March, 2025. So to get a little more about it, I went to a prominent news station. I used to live only a couple of blocks from it, WRAL. It's in Raleigh, North Carolina. This is their current articles. Oh, this is interesting. This tab is using extra resources to improve your performance. Let Chrome make it inactive. That's interesting. Oh, I know why. It's what I want to show you. So I came to this page. I'm going to close this out. You see it's up here. I read to you what it says. It's interesting it's having an effect on my computer too. Now hang on. So here are the current articles. It's 7:45 p.m. Massive South Carolina fire grows to 1,600 acres. It's only a third contained. This is good news now. If the fires can wait until Wednesday, there may be massive thunderstorms. But here's an article. Firefighters continue to battle dozens of wildfires across North Carolina Sunday. So I went to the article. And I'm reading down. While the brush fire threat isn't as high as it was Saturday, the humidity is still very low, so it's best not to burn Sunday. Several fires are still burning across North Carolina Sunday. As of 1 p.m. Sunday, now I'm not going to make it bigger, the North Carolina Forest Service map shows more than a dozen active wildfires, dozens more than have been reported across the state. That's what it says. Dozens more have been reported across the state. So maybe they're only showing the major ones. So I clicked on it. We'll open a new tab. What are you seeing? I didn't make a mistake. What are you seeing? Nothing. This is the page where I was before I started the video. Up here on the tab, the thing is still spinning. And it's still spinning here. Let it go. Watch it. Is it a real URL? I want to show you what it is. Long one, view fonts. We'll make it 26. There you go. https:// Now the domain is fireresponse.com, and the specific subdomain for North Carolina in that service is NCFS public. What would that be? FS is not fire service, although this is a fire response website. North Carolina Forest Service public. It's meant to be seen by you and me. They're still spinning. What's going on? Now I can just go like this, fireresponse.com. I can go to a new tab. I can paste it in. The browser will fill in the extra. Accept all cookies. First time I've come to this website. So the domain server, the machine or machines or service that they're renting, North Carolina Forest Service Wildfire Public Viewer, powered by something called Fire Response. Welcome to the North Carolina Wildfire Public Viewer. The web viewer provides current information on North Carolina's reported and active wildfires, wildfires that are controlled or that are out are not shown. Controlled wildfires are not shown. I think they want to show you the ones where you are in most danger. Think about that. North Carolina's forest land is one of the greatest influences on the state, providing economic value, and then how much it is, and North Carolina FC, North Carolina Forest Service, programs of service are directed to da-da-da-da. And you can go to the official North Carolina Forest Service.gov. Closure for Burnt Mountain Trail in DuPont State Record. I've been to DuPont State Forest. Okay? Let's go back to the tabs that are where the map is, which clearly is a different server, physically speaking. What's happening? It's overwhelmed. Oh, perfect. It went long enough. Now, I don't think I can make that bigger. No, I can't. I can't make that bigger. It says, page unresponsive. You can wait for it to become responsive or exit the page. What are we trying to see? North Carolina Wildfire Public Viewer. My browser is providing that message. My browser is providing that message. It's built in as a fallback as part of the Chromium, and in this case, Google Chrome web browser. That's not generated by where I'm trying to go to. Where I'm trying to go to is still a page where they keep going bing, 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 bing. That's why I had a little notice earlier as I started this about something on this computer in this browser using excessive resources. Excessive resources can be happening because you're trying to do something. They know how many threads it should take, and for some reason it's getting tied up. What does this indicate? Two things. Now, remember, I used to work for an internationally known, internationally operating IT company. I retired as a software engineer. I used to support a major headline web product that people used in order to create websites and have a presence with active programs on them, like banks. Or so you can order things from Sears, but Sears doesn't exist anymore. But it did then, and it was a customer. Kmart, oh, doesn't exist now, but back then, yeah, it was a customer. Visa, I've been in problems where Visa went down. Is this website down? Probably. Now, why do I say probably? Any machine that you're on, if you're doing your own, has a certain number of what's called threads allocated to handle incoming traffic. You may have the capacity to, say, 1,000 threads to handle incoming requests to see the page. What happens if 5,000 people are trying at the same time? One of two things. Back in the early days of less sophistication, the server machine would crash. The software would crash. Then you have to restart it. Or it simply disregards the new requests with code built in. It already knows it's had too many threads devoted and active, and any new requests are automatically ignored. The packets are thrown away. The packet requests are thrown away. What does this indicate? They're on a particular service that they're renting their part from. From the way it's discussed, it's probably there's all 48 lower 48s go to what's the fireresponse.com, or they could have rented capacity on something like Microsoft Azure or on Amazon Web Services. And those are gigantic enough, and here's the point, those are gigantic enough that if you pay for it, if you run into a situation like this, they automatically create more capacity to handle it almost instantly. But I can tell you that the fire response infrastructure, wherever it is, doesn't have that capacity. And so after trying for a certain amount of time, bing, it doesn't do it bing, 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 bing. It does it bing, asking for it, bing, asking for it, bing, asking for it, and then it has a timeout, and then it gives me this message. And each time I open a new tab, like I can open my Firefox browser, put it in, nothing. Okay? There are so many people trying to watch that map. Oh, and look at what happened. This is good. I didn't do this before. The Firefox browser timer is more short-tempered. It didn't wait as long as the Chrome browser. Let's try Brave browser. Did I get the right one? Brave browser it came right up on Brave browser. Hang on. This tells me I have to take medicine. Okay, this is good. I got to take medicine. I just went back. Now let's go back to the Chrome browser. Let's hit it and say, reload it. Let's go to a new tab. For some reason, it's not working on the Google Chrome browser. But we got something come up on the Brave browser, and we got something coming up on the Firefox browser. Now this is the page where this is North Carolina Wildfire Public Viewer. I accept the conditions. There's the map. And we can see why there might be a lot of interest right now, because it's a lot of dots. And over on the left are specific information for specific ones. And I can scroll down, and the list is pretty extensive. How close is there one to me? There are several in the Asheboro area, right there. Status reported Randolph County, 1/10 of an acre, 100% contained. Green means contained. This one has a number, Randolph County, 1/2 acre, contained. Here's one. Controlled, not contained, Randolph County. I live in Randolph County. If we go up to the Greensboro area, there's one north of Greensboro. But what about, what's a red? Active, Person County. Three and a half acres, 90% contained. Here's the information. I wanted to go on to an active one. So it pops up of information. So I'm showing you, this is the first time I've ever been to this map. So now there's been some relief. There we go. Randolph County Fire District 10, containment 100%, 1/10 of an acre, and then it gives the actual coordinates. And then we go to Google Chrome. Let's see if it understands it in this form. Good, we're going to the maps. Gold Hill Road is not far from here. Contractors Building Services. Gold Hill Road, if I want to get on Gold Hill Road, I have to go the way I go to the landfill. Excuse me. If I'm in if I'm in Asheboro, and I usually come back on 64, but if I come back on Old Cedar Falls Road, when I get close to here, you can turn onto Gold Hill Road. This must be north of it. Okay, this end of, that's right, this end of it goes on Presnell. If I go down here past the substation and then up the hill, on the right I can turn onto Presnell. So the fire is there, so the other end is going to be Randolph Tabernacle, correct? And then Randolph Tabernacle is Henley County Road, which is the one I turn onto to go to the landfill. And then I turn back this way to Old Cedar Falls Road. And here's Laughlin Pond Road, which is like a quarter of a mile down this way. I come down Laughlin Pond Road, and I'm going to hit 64. There's 64. There's Scott's Garage, and if we go a little further to the right, that's where I am. So there's one of them reported on the map, not far from me, which is not surprising if you think about it. All right, so I've given you a tour. This started out with a page doing this. That end has already thrown away any attempt for these requests, and these others came in just when they got enough capacity to actually answer with a web page. And now I got a warning about, okay, there's the public viewer. This one's still working on this tab, but it's not working there. That map's still working. I'm going to reload it. I accept. Okay, so right now they've recovered, probably because the number of requests has gone down. And why would they go down? Because of what we saw at the beginning. People just gave up and said, I'll look later. How do I know all of this stuff? This is what I used to do. Steve A.B.4L and Hope. Hope. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 red dots. Most in the center, basically Piedmont area, but a few in our western forests. I hope they all, I'm talking about the active ones, not contained yet. I hope the firefighters succeed. Steve A.B.4L saying, see you in 73.